but how many kings, or maybe they do quietly, but I don't hear of any that even forsake once a week the meat and the animal people product. Did you?
No,
No,
Master.
Master.
So he's doing better than others already, huh?
Yes,
Yes.
that's right.
He will never order to fight with anybody, kill anybody, or make war, or inciting war, anything like that. Did he?
No,
No,
Master.
Master.
And so at least he's a peaceful leader,
Yes, true.
Yes.
and even tries to be vegan.
Yes, that's right.
Yes, that's very good.
Yeah, he tries very hard. Since he was young, he's been fed with all the animal people products, and he could just quit it twice a week. That's already something.
Yes,
Yes, Master.
Yes. And he always advocates for protecting the forest, protecting the Amazon, and stuff like that.
Yes,
Yes.
He's very active on that.
yes.
Yeah. How many princes, how many kings, how many presidents do that? Huh?
Many. That's right.
Not many. Are there?
No.
No. No.
Yeah. Yes, yes. Except that Arab prince, there is a prince of one of the Arab countries. He did that. He became vegan. And I'm deeply grateful for that. And I'm in awe of that. Also, the late president of Slovakia, Janet Dunovček, was vegan. Very rare,
Yes.
isn't it? But he passed away already. And then Prince Charles, he tried many things.
The business of what we eat, of course, is important. I mean, I've for years I haven't eaten meat and fish on 2 days a week, and I don't eat dairy products on 1 day a week. Now, I mean, that's one way to do it. If you did that, if more did that, you would reduce a lot of the pressure on the environment. Isn't everything?
And also concerning the affair of the then Prince Charles and his now wife, the Queen Consort Camilla. Well, he's a prince. Many other princes have many more affairs than that. Don't you think so?
Yes, Master.
Yes.
Other princes, not many, but some, and worse things than that. And he has only one. And I really felt shattered when Princess Diana died. And may her soul forgive me for what I'm saying. But perhaps this is the price that His Majesty King Charles III had to pay in order to become king, to rule England as well as the Commonwealth. And another price to pay to be with his loved one, because the Queen Consort Camilla was and still is the love of his life.
Yes.
They were in love or having some deep affection before he married Princess Diana. He did not really want to marry Princess Diana before the marriage. But it was Prince Philip who was instrumental in creating this marriage. He even told him, she's still a virgin. If you wait longer, you will never have a chance to marry a virgin. Something like that. I read it on the news before, a long time ago. So you see, being a prince, and he was young as well, and it's not all that easy for him to disobey his very strict father.
Yes, Master.
He was not just a prince, he was a son, and very dutiful and obedient son as well.
Yes.
He has not done anything I know that goes against his mother or his father up to date, all that I have known about. And even when Her Royal Highness Princess Diana died, after a long, long time, he wanted to marry the love of his life, Camilla. The queen did not want it. And she even called Camilla that time a wicked woman. So even then, Prince Charles also did not marry his now wife, Camilla, according to all the news that I read.
Yes,
Yes, Master.
He was a very dutiful and obedient prince. Long ago, one of his ancestors, the King of England, King Edward VIII, he even forsook the whole kingship and the whole of England, the whole world, just to marry his divorced American mistress. He was the one who abdicated himself and forsook all his duties and glory and title and kingdom in order to marry the woman he loved. He said he cannot function without the woman he loved. So in this sense, Prince Charles was a very beautiful, very obedient son of his parents.
Yes, Master.
So that was quite a very rare and good quality for a prince who has been spoiled all his life.
Yes,
Master.
And through all this, he did not show that he wanted to marry Princess Diana. And even Her Royal Highness Princess Diana also knew that from the wedding night already, according to reports. He let her know that already, somehow.
The night before their wedding, Prince Charles apparently felt he owed it to his young fiancée to tell her how he really felt before making such a life-altering commitment. Diana's astrologer relayed what the princess confided to her the night before she wed Charles. She said, "Charles told her that he didn't love her. I think Charles didn't want to go into the wedding on a false premise."
And during all the marriage, he just had physical intimacy with her only when she initiated, also according to reports. Because his heart was in love with another woman, his now wife, Queen Camilla.
Yes.
Charles and Camilla met at polo in 1971. Their attraction was mutual and continued beyond her marriage to Guards Officer Andrew Parker Bowles.
She was able to satisfy him in a way that no other woman ever has done.
I've come to the conclusion that really it would have been far easier to have had two wives.
He wore some cufflinks that Camilla had given him with two C's entwined. He wore those on the honeymoon.
Prince Charles and Camilla were speaking very intimately about what they like to do together and how much they miss each other.
Did you try to be faithful and honourable to your wife when you took on the vow of marriage?
Yes, absolutely.
And you were?
Yes. Until it became irretrievably broken down.
Well, there were three of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded.
The institution of monarchy won't die overnight because of a few broken marriages. It survived the constitutional crisis 60 years ago when King Edward VIII abdicated to marry an American divorcee, Wallis Simpson.
Prince Charles and Diana's divorce was finalised on the 28th of August, 1996. One revelation that's never previously come to light points to some peace.
Diana did tell me something quite interesting. She said on the day of the divorce, she and Charles sat down together on the sofa and they both cried. By the time the divorce was actually finalised, they were on much better terms.
Charles finally married that third person in his first marriage, Camilla Parker Bowles, who he had reportedly never fallen out of love with over the years.
So now, you see, he's a very faithful man, faithful to his love, true to his heart. How many men can claim to be like that?
Yes, Master.
Least of all, a prince who has all the power to have fun all around. So people should look into some of his good qualities, respectful qualities, to give him some more support, some more sympathy. If cannot give love, but give some sympathy, imagine if he is you, how would you feel? What would you do to make a better job out of the king's job? It's a job, it has a lot of pros and cons as well, like every other job. It's just more special, that's all.
Yes, Master.
So now they are legally married, and even with the blessing of the Queen even bestowed the title in advance to Camilla as the Queen Consort, because he saw that Camilla was really good for Prince Charles at that time.
Queen Elizabeth's Platinum Jubilee, and marking the occasion by making a big announcement
to publicly announce her wish that Prince Charles's wife be given the title of Queen.
In a statement writing, "It is my sincere wish that Camilla will be known as Queen Consort."
Earlier this year, Queen Elizabeth made a once unthinkable proclamation. Camilla will be queen.
By thy blessing, let these rings be to Charles and Camilla a symbol of unending love and faithfulness, and of the promises they have made to each other.
For years now, Camilla has been one of the busiest senior royals, throwing herself into public life. She supports many causes near and dear to her heart.
She's an incredibly supportive woman, and it's a tough job to do. What they do is difficult. And I think that anybody who's in that role will need a partner that they can have a joke with at the end of the day, or just kick their shoes off and have a chat.
Camilla keeps Charles III grounded. She's very family orientated. I don't think she ever sought a public role. That wasn't where she wanted to be. But this is the role that she's ended up doing for the man that she loves.
I count on the loving help of my darling wife, Camilla. In recognition of her own loyal public service since our marriage 17 years ago, she becomes my Queen Consort.
King Charles, at his first address to the public, praising his wife, now his Queen Consort, Camilla. Their life in the public eye, a journey of decades, and there was some doubt along the way about what her new title would be. But of course, it was among Queen Elizabeth's final wishes that Camilla be called Queen Consort.
So if we love the Queen, then we should also follow her advice, follow her wish, and do better things for England instead of stirring up more trouble. Don't you think?
Yes,
I think
so.
And you yourself will ask the question, what do you feel in your heart? Am I right? I mean, are you happy with my answer?
Yes, I agree. You're right. Definitely.
Yeah, not because I'm your master, but tell me how you would feel if you were him.
It's logical, and you would want to follow your heart. I mean, your heart overpowers everything. How can one ignore one's heart and be true to that?
Yes, it's true also. It's like that. If you're in love with somebody, you can't help it.
Right. Yes.
That's why people say you fall in love.
Yeah.
Fall in.
Yes, Master.
You're not standing in love. You're not sitting in love. You're falling in. Fall.
Yeah.
You just fall.
Yes.
And in French, they say, could have put. In Olac or Vietnam, they say, tiếng sét ái tình.
Oh.
Meaning the thunder of love just hits you. That's what I say. Yeah. So that means you're helpless. You're dead. Only your heart is the one that is still alive and dictating your moves. That's why many people do many crazy things, because they fall in love. They fall in love.
Yes.
Also, that's the arrangement, so that he will have some blemishes to be a king. We have to pay for everything we have in this world. You know that, right?
Yes, Master.
Mm-hmm. Even if we don't want to, or even if we don't know, it is karma that arranges it that way. And I tell you a secret. They were lovers before. Some previous life. Yeah. They were royalty and were lovers before this life.
Wow.
So after some lifetimes, they still have this impression in their subconscious. So when they met each other, it just hit.
Right.
Like you hit the target.
Yes, Master.
But even then, they were thinking, oh, it's not possible. They were too young also. At that time, they were young.
Yes.
And he was busy as a prince.
Yes.
And she was busy with her stuff. And then one way or another, it was just arranged that way that she married before he did.
Yes.
Yes, that's right.
And then afterwards, he also has no choice. But then somehow they met each other again, and then things just happened.
Yes, Master.
I don't condone anything like that.
Yes, Master.
I'm just telling you a secret. Yes. So if you feel anything not peaceful in your heart about the then Prince Charles and Camilla, then please don't carry it. Don't carry this burden.
Understand, Master.
Understand, yes.
Do you feel okay now?
Yes, it's clear now. Thank you very much for helping to clarify that.
Yeah. We wish them well, all right?
Yes,
Master.
We wish them happiness and strength so that they can continue to carry whatever burdens their job will heap upon them, and the world will shove their way.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
Any other questions at all?
People have criticized the Queen because she's the head of some colonized nations. Could Master please share your thoughts on this?
Oh, dear. You always drag me into politics, huh? Who's going to get the trouble for me? Okay, never mind. If you trust me, I am obliged to answer, to clear your mind. And I know many people ask this question around the world. The same with the questions your brothers asked before. They're all over the world. They ask. They just don't know whom to ask and where to ask.
Yes.
So I might as well answer you in order to clear other people's minds as well, if they let me.
Yes. Thank you, Master.
Thank you, Master.
It's like that. It's not the Queen's fault, is it? The colonization happened long before she was even born.
Yes. True.
And so it just continues that way, and she just became a symbolic head of the Commonwealth, they call it. And the British, they don't just colonize, they help also.
Yes.
Many of the former colonized countries admitted that, and they always welcomed the British passport people with warmth and affection, because the British also helped them in many different ways.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
I heard that some of the so-called Commonwealth countries are attempting or thinking or wanting to be independent. It's okay. It's all their free will to choose. If their people agree to that, and their parliament has to agree to that as well, then they can apply to be independent. If they think it's better for their country to be independent, then they should go forward into that direction, if their people also want it. Some countries don't want to.
Yes.
They want to stay with the British.
Yes.
Together also is a strength. United we stand.
Yes, Master.
Yes, that's right.
But if they think, or if they can prove, or if they have the statistics or research somehow to prove that to be alone, to be independent from the British Union, then they should go in that way. If it's better for their country, why not? Huh? But if it's not better for their people, for their country, then why bother about the name?
Yes.
Yes, that's true. Master.
They have to ask their people. They have to listen to their people, see what their people want. And they have to do research or ask somebody to research for them to prove that being independent is really, really better for their country. Outweighing the disadvantages, then they should do it. It depends. It depends on what country or in which situation or the way their people want it. Right?
Yes.
She was respected greatly across the Commonwealth and by the leaders of the Commonwealth. She mingled with so many leaders from generations of leaders. She really, in one person, personifies for me someone who shows the difficult transition from empire to independence and somehow managed to keep an amicability, a cordiality where it could have been much more fraught and contested with different parts of the once colonial world. In some ways, she was quite remarkable in assisting in the transition from empire, which obviously was a colonial construct, to the Commonwealth, which was more a voluntary meeting of all these many different countries around the world.
The monarchy of England is also very well beloved. The proof is that people from all over the world, they came and queued for 10, 12 hours. Even David Beckham, the famous
Master.
football star.
Yes.
Even he waited for 12 hours in order to see her coffin, to pay respect. And he was very emotional, crying, remembering her. And, all leaders in the world came to pay respect to her. Even Putin wanted to. And was denied, of course.
Yes, Master.
All of these world leaders and members of European royal families in attendance.
Westminster Abbey holds 2,000 people, and millions are expected to descend on the capital to pay their respects.
So all the people who protest against the monarchy or against His Majesty, the new King Charles III, should think twice, before they take any action to steer up problems in a peaceful country and a good country.
Yes,
yes, I understand.
Many people envy England and want to come to live in England. So if they are British, they live in England, they should be happy, be proud.
That's right, Master.
And there will always be some little problems here and there, but one king cannot do everything. It depends on also many factors and the decision from the parliament and the English government as well. Even the queen, they should not blame her for anything. She doesn't have all the power to decide everything concerning political issues. For example, they arranged whom she has to meet to shake hands with, to talk with, even though she doesn't want to. Legend has it that one time, people saw that she had to hide behind the bushes in Buckingham Palace garden because she did not want to talk to one of the world's leaders again, one more time. She hid from him. People could not find her. Yeah. Yeah, she had to hide. She had no power to even refuse. She hid. She hid herself because she didn't want to talk to that person again because she didn't like that president at that time. And he was supposed to be one of the bad ones. You do research on that and then you will know.
Yes, Master.
She could see the Ceausescus coming the other way and thinks, I can't face talking to them. So for the first and only time in her life, she actually hides in a bush in the palace garden to avoid her own guests.
The Queen puts up with having many different people, but Ceausescu was too much.
She could not just do everything she wanted. Even, for example, if there's some unrest somewhere, or like Kenya or something, they will report to her differently. They will say, these kind of people, they are terrorists, they're killing that and these people, they're killing that government, and now we have to take an army to quell this terrorist approach that makes unrest in the country of Kenya, for example, like that. She cannot say, oh no, you cannot.
Yes, understand.
Even though she's a queen, but she doesn't have the power everywhere in all departments of the government to make decisions.
Yes.
So people should understand more about this complicated and difficult political body of the world, to be appreciative of a good king that you really have in the world.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
There's one time Her Royal Highness Princess Anne, Queen Elizabeth II's daughter.
Yes.
I read in the news that she said the Queen told her that, sometimes she didn't agree. If she could not agree with the Prime Minister or the government about doing something, and she could not argue out of it, then she just let it be. She just let them be. Let them do it.
Yes.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
So the Prime Minister and the government has also a lot of power to even refuse the Queen's advice or decision.
Yes, Master.
So the Queen was more or less like a symbol of the monarchy, and most of the political decisions came from the government, Prime Minister, Parliament, etc.
Yes,
Master.
I swear by Almighty God.
And even, you see, appointing the Prime Minister of England, like the latest one, Madame Liz Truss, they picked her first, and then they presented her to the Queen.
Yes, Master.
It wasn't the Queen who picked her, so they presented her to the Queen, and the Queen just agreed to it and let her be Prime Minister. I doubt she could just refuse Madame Liz Truss and say, no, I don't want her. I don't think the Queen could say, oh no, kick her out, or get Boris Johnson back for me. For example, like that. So people who blame the Queen and hate the Queen as the colonizer head and all that, they should not, okay? They should not. She was a very good queen.
Understand, Master.
Yeah, she was loving. Because if she was not, all the people who worked around her would have not talked so well about her after she died.
Yes.
And during her reign also, during her time of life on earth as well, nobody has said anything bad about the Queen at all. including all the household. The household people are the ones who should know her the most.
Yes, yes,
right. Yes, Master.
She was a wonderful boss. We used to put up a red box every evening, and we knew that she would have been through them and it would be back on our desk the next morning at 8 o'clock. It was extraordinary how she did this day after day throughout her reign.
She changed the role of monarchy by introducing the idea of voluntary service into the official role of monarchy.
Her Majesty is one of the hardest working people I've ever met in my life. For somebody of her age, the things she was doing, the events she was attending, sometimes 3 events in a day, it was absolutely remarkable.
Good morning.
Good morning. Well, it was fun being a private secretary, and one of my predecessors said you never come out of your morning session with the Queen feeling worse than when you went in. She had a sense of humour. She was very interested in people.
It was my privilege to see Her Majesty quite a lot. And in all those interactions, there was a courtesy and a humanity and a kindness that I'll remember forever.
In a way, I didn't have an apprenticeship. My father died much too young. It was all a very sudden kind of taking on and making the best job you can.
And all the politicians in England are still respectful to her. You see, the monarchy should be respected, appreciated, and sustained, because you can see the Queen. She's the Queen of England, and in some countries, at the moment, maybe only like 14-11 of the Commonwealth, but people all over the world who don't even know her, who never even care about royalty, they're all lined up in the street, many, many miles long. Some had to wait 24 hours to pay respect to her coffin.
Yes.
Yes.
Right, Master.
So this is the right thing, you know. You don't have to go and pay respect and wait for 24 hours, but still, she was someone that people loved and respected. She brought this kind of, positive energy to the world.
Yes,
Yes,
Master. Yes, Master.
Because he was kind and good.
Yes.
So her son shouldn't be too far from that quality.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
They should support him. Yeah? Tell me, what else you want to suggest or ask me or argue with me?
I have an article that defends the Queen. It says the Queen's presence was a key part of making decolonization possible.
So she's the one who helped it happen?
Yes, she helped make the colonies become independent.
Yeah, you can see that in some subtle ways. She did what she could.
Yes.
She could not do everything all in one go, of course. But, you know, when the situation was favorable, she did what she could to help others to be independent. What use is it to her if she rules some more countries in your life?
Yes, Master.
What's the use? She had everything she needed. She was a contented person. She was busy with her job and busy loving all the animals she could. She had geese, she had horses, she had dogs. And others, you know, in numbers.
Yes.
And she had the whole country to take care of. Household to instruct things, and she had many meetings with the parliament, with the prime minister, with the government people, with the church people, all kinds of things. And she had her family, children to take care of, her grandchildren and all that. Why would a person like that even want to expand her rule or have more countries to rule?
Yes, Master.
Prince Philip called her the psychotherapist of the Commonwealth, that she knows all the leaders, she hears their problems, and they see her as a kind of mother figure.
Mother, wife, queen. The job requires Elizabeth to play them all, and much more besides. Yet despite being the most famous face on earth, being monarch can be an isolating job.
You are guardian of a whole heap of secrets you can't even share with your husband. You spend a lot of time with strangers. You are expected to know exactly why you're somewhere, why the people you're speaking to are there. I think it's a very lonely job. A very lonely job.
And if the Queen was really a colonizer at heart and all that, why could India become free, independent.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
And Singapore.
Yes, yes.
Malaysia, when they were together, Singapore, Malaysia, and many other countries. Many countries became independent. It was like 30-something, and now only like 14. So many have already become independent. You can't blame the Queen for anything, absolutely. Nada, nix, niente, zero.
Yes, Master.
That's my opinion. And people can protest against me if they want. Welcome. I just tell the truth, truthful to my heart. And my heart always dictates to me what to do.
Yes, Master.
And my heart is truthful.
Our deepest gratitude, most compassionate Master, for teaching us the path of true appreciation, respect, and humility. May precious Master enjoy perfect health and tranquility, safeguarded by all merciful goddesses.